have this vivid memory of sitting in the bathtub one time and just crying.
I think I punched my dad once.
You're not in charge of me right now. Like, you just won't leave me alone.
I had an epidural in my back, so I couldn't move very well.
She just wanted me to keep pushing and keep going.
Everybody had one. Like, if you didn't have one, you were looked down upon.
This is a show where teenagers share their experiences growing up in today's world. I'm your host, Dr. RJ, and this is A Teen's Perspective.
What I want to talk to you guys about is a portion of your motivation. So I'm talking about motivation today, but ultimately I want to dive into the question. If you know what it takes to do something, why don't you do it? So you know that I get progress reports from your parents, right? They always send me progress reports. And I know in the program, I teach you guys so many things. So many things. I teach you guys the simplest way to have friends. Remember that? The simplest way to have friends. I teach it to you. And if you're new, you're going to see it. But I basically tell you, if you want to have friends, you have to put yourself out there and go meet people. Now, is that like a groundbreaking discovery? Nope. Is that even like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro? No. But for some people, I guess it can be. It's simple. You literally just go out and then you start talking to people. But then somebody may say, well, RJ, nope. That's easy for you because you're used to it. And I would say, yes, you're right. I haven't tried it before, so it's super scary. So it is like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. Like it's like swimming with sharks. I'm scared. So I even give you guys a strategy for that. Here's a strategy, and you already know this. The strategy is courage. You need courage and just go do it. One time, just go to somebody, bam, ask them questions. And I tell you guys, just ask them questions about themselves. Everyone loves to talk about themselves. I'm telling you, you just go ask them questions about themselves. They will start talking. And if you do that a bunch of times, over and over and over, just start talking to people, you're going to get confident. It's natural. But the question is this. We know that it's possible to do this. You know the strategy to do it. But the question is, why don't you do it? That's the question. Why are you not motivated enough to go walk out to a complete stranger and just hold a conversation? Put in the chat. What do you think? What do you think is the reason? Why do people not doing it? And actually speak for yourself. If this is you who struggles with that, tell me, why haven't you tried to go out and talk to someone? Tell me. One person says fear. Another person says, I'm shy, intimidation, social anxiety. Yeah, Haley, we know you have. So Haley, start. Hey, I got a question, Haley. Have you always been that way or you became that way after the program?
I used to be really introverted and I didn't have a lot of friends, to be honest. And then I took these classes and I moved schools and I have a lot of friends now. And
that's what I'm talking about, Haley.
It's not that hard. Like, some people are going to be mean. It's just nobody's always nice, but you just kind of got to like jump into it.
That's it. I like it. So what Haley is saying is courage. It's just like, yes, I know it's scary. I know it's intimidating, but jump in and do it. And you just do that a bunch of times and then it's easy. So Haley just said it. Before she was shy, she was introverted. She took this program. And, in fact, Haley was making friends even in this program. When we used to have the chat wide open for everybody to talk to each other, she would be like making friends quickly. And the key word she used is she changed schools. So what did you think that helped her do when she changed schools? In her head, she's probably like, listen, I don't know anybody, so I'm going to just try something new, right? And she did it, and now she has a lot of friends. So, yes, Callahan said it right. You got to start over. So, yes. So some of you are saying like there's fear, there's intimidation. So I want to help you overcome that fear and intimidation because you're right. That is the reason why you're not motivated is because of fear and intimidation. You know the strategy, but there's fear. So I'm going to teach you the strategy. Now, for all of you who are like, hey, I'm a social butterfly, I don't need this advice. Use this for the same thing to motivate yourself for other things like turning your homework in, doing your chores. What are some of the things that you guys need to be motivated for? Put in the chat. So I want to use real examples. Something that you know you need to do, like sports players. It's like you know you want to be on varsity, and you know it takes that you need to like practice shooting, practice dribbling, but you're not motivated to do it, but you really want to be on varsity. So this person said getting up in the morning. Somebody else said exercising. Yes, exercise is a great example. This person says going to school. So you can use what we're going to talk about for anything. You could use it for the fear, to overcome your fear of meeting someone, or you could use it for motivating yourself for school, sports, or whatever. This person said they want to be on varsity next year. I know for sure you're going to be on varsity next year, all right? So I'm going to teach you how to do this. So everything comes down to this. Your emotions, how you're feeling. That's why it's so important when you're learning that you get energized, right? Because it's like you're preparing the brain. You're telling the brain, hey, I want to learn this stuff. I want to consume all this information. Because if you're just like this, I promise you, if you're like, your brain is not consuming it. Now, I'm not saying you won't do well in school, but I'm saying that you will learn the information much faster if you added some energy. All right. So energy, get motivated, get energized. All right. Anybody can do it. All you gotta do is just move. In fact, why don't we do it now? All right. I want to see everybody show me a wild, crazy movement. Get energized. Let me see it. All right, Devin, good job. I see Jake, good job. Mackenzie, yes. Sadine, I remember, yes. I see Michael, Jason, Sam is like, yep. Come on, Ava. I need to see Eli. I want to Sammy. Oh, come on, Sammy. You got to show me something, man. You got those cool things spinning in the background. Doosh, doosh, doosh. I'm sure there's some music going on back there. All right, cool. So that energy, I'm telling you, would change everything for you. That energy changes everything. I'm telling you. It comes down to emotions, all right? So follow me here. I'm going to teach you the line of what happens with your motivation. And I'm going to teach you why this is so important. This is by far the reason why I am successful, at least in my eyes, is because of this. This is why I'm successful, I believe. So it starts with your thoughts. Everything starts in the mind. Who here believes or knew that whatever you are experiencing in life, that if someone was to come and replace you. So say, for instance, I have Jack and I have Shemaiah, right? So let's say, for instance, Jack was going through life and I put Shemaiah and they switched places. How many of you know that they would have a completely different experience in life? Who knew that? Raise your hand if you knew that. I want you guys to remember this statement. Your truth is not the truth. So in other words, what you believe and what you're seeing and what you're experiencing in your life is not technically what's really happening. How many of you know someone? In fact, this is the first person I coached, believe it or not. So years ago, my very first person I coached one-on-one, who I helped, she had an eating disorder. So the mom tried therapy for 3 or 4 years. It didn't work. So they found me and I helped her in 3 months. 3 months total. But we saw a breakthrough in 4 weeks, but 3 months total. We had to do some reinforcements. The point is this, she was close to anorexia, really, seriously. But when she looked herself in the mirror, she saw that she was obese. Guess what? That was her truth, right? Her truth was hey, man, I need to lose weight. I'm huge. But she was so small. So that's why your truth is not the truth. So you're this happened actually recently when I was coaching someone. They were so sad for an entire week because they felt like their friends abandoned them. So they're my friends don't want to be my friends anymore. They don't message me. They don't do anything. And they just feel hey, it's because I'm something's wrong with me. I'm not a cool person or whatever, right? This is what she experienced. Now, everyone on the outside looking in, we're thinking is that the truth? Is that really what's happening? And then sure enough, I encouraged her to go talk to her friends. And sure enough, that was not what happened at all. It wasn't they didn't want to be a friend. So what I'm telling you is super important to understand that everything begins in the mind, in your thoughts. That is why gratitude, who practice gratitude or who parents have told you guys to practice gratitude? Gratitude is so important. Well, first of all, who can explain gratitude? Raise your hand if you want to describe gratitude for everyone. Raise your hand. Talk to us, Devin.
Gratitude is an appreciation for what you have in life. And I feel like it can be achieved through perspective.
Absolutely, man. Devin is on another level, guys. I'm just telling you now. So that is exactly right. Remember this exercise? Some of you are going to remember this, but I want you guys to do it. I'm going to teach you gratitude so fast, all right? So if you're okay with me teaching you gratitude quickly, give me thumbs up. Thumbs up, you want me to teach you. So this is gratitude. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you really quickly. It's going to be so fast. Right now, I want everyone to look in their room. I see you guys in your room. And start looking for everything that's brown. Find all the brown in your room. Brown, only brown. Look at brown, brown, brown. And start listing them off in your head. Brown, brown, brown. How many brown things? Now in the chat, tell me how many brown things you see. In the chat, how many brown things? Yes, the wood counts. Your wood table counts. Your finish counts. So for me, there's a brown couch. There's a brown table. I see brown trees outside. There's a brown pen holder that's not for me, but it's a pen holder. My RJ orthodontics sign has brown in it. I'm an orthodontist if you didn't know that. So brown. Now close your eyes. Everyone close your eyes. You can't cheat. Got to have the eyes closed. Everyone close your eyes. Eyes closed. Eyes closed. Do not open your eyes. I want you to list everything, or at least in your mind, list everything in your room that's yellow in your mind. Don't open your eyes. You can't cheat. Don't open your eyes. So once you have that list in your eyes, you have a little list in your head of yellow, tell me, eyes closed still, everything in your room that's red. Everything in your room that's red. Don't open your eyes and cheat. All right. Now tell me everything, keep your eyes closed, everything that's pink in your room. Everything that's pink. Don't cheat, Brielle. I'm looking at you cheating. You're literally cheating while I'm looking at you. All right, cool. Open your eyes. Yes, I saw you. Shay, she even tried to play it off too. She was like, oh, red? Let me see. She was not even trying to play it off. And that's all good. All right, so what did this exercise teach us? Now look in your room and see all the things you missed, because you missed it. I know you missed. You missed yellow. You missed some red. You missed the pink. So how is that possible? How can you live in your room for all those years and miss that? It's like sitting right next to you. Some of you literally probably have the shirt on, the yellow shirt on that you're wearing, like my friend Jake and Siri. Thumbs up if you counted your shirt when I said yellow. This exercise teaches you is this. Your mind only can focus on something at a time. We have this thing we call focus. I call them blinders, but we all have them. Each one of us go through life like this. We only can see certain things, right? So when I told you guys, hey, tell me what's brown, this is what you did. You literally started looking brown, 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 and that's all your mind saw. Now, the question is this. Why did your mind miss the yellow? How does it miss the yellow? How did it miss the red, the pink, all that? How does it miss it? Because it was locked into brown. Well, this is what gratitude does, guys. This is gratitude. So the yellow, the red, the pink, these are all the things that are going right in your life. These are all the amazing things about yourself. But guess what? Too many times we only focus on the brown. We only focus on, I have no friends. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I'm too fat. No one likes me. That's all we focus on. And guess what happens? If you focus on that, that's all you're going to think about. That's all you're going to see. You're going to literally see it. So if you're focused on that, hey, I'm not cool. No one likes me. And then you go and you try my little thing right now and go just talk with somebody. Hey, I just want to know your name. And they like walk off. Guess what you're going to think about? See, I was right. No one likes me. No one likes me. But the gratitude stretches you. Gratitude forces you to focus on something else. It forces you to focus on the yellow, focus on the pink. And it's a simple question. All right. You wake up in the morning. I do it regularly. Now, I don't do it for confidence because I pretty much have that nailed down, but it's not I was born that way. I actually practice, right? Like this is a training. I train my mind to be confident. But what I do, I'm an overachiever. So I do get frustrated. So I have frustration. So sometimes when I'm frustrated, I start to practice gratitude and it literally removes all my frustration. I start to think like, you know what? I'm so thankful. I have two wonderful kids. Oh, they're amazing. Isaiah and Jeremiah. Man, I love them. And then I started thinking about my wonderful wife. I'm like, how blessed do I feel that I have a wife? So I just start focusing on the things that are going right in my life. And then it makes those other things not seem that big of a deal. So that's one. So the mind controls everything. So what happens when you think about something? What happens when you focus on something? You feel, all right? So you focus, then you feel. And that's where we get our emotions from, is how we feel. We're emotional creatures. Who here remembers the purpose of our emotions? Put in the chat. So yes, Kayla, you're right. So it makes us feel. So it's how we interact with life, but also messages. Our emotions are designed to give us a message. They're designed to give us a message. So the way you feel is because of what you're focusing on. So think about this. I want you right now to think about the last time you were sad, very sad, whether you cried, whether you're just down, and tell me right now in the chat, what were you focusing on? All right, let's see. This person said rejection. This person said school. They were sad with school. The death of a grandmother. Now, so I'm glad you actually brought this up. So whenever we talk about sadness and emotions, you know me, I'm a huge believer that we all should be happy. We all should be excited. We all should be inspired. And the good news is we all can be. Now, will you be that way 100% of the time? I say go for it. I say strive for it. Now, we're human, so you probably want to make it, but try to get to 99.9% of the time. At least that's what I strive for. Now, there are times where sadness is a good thing. And one of those times is death. It's mourning. It's a process. So these emotions, we have a purpose for these emotions, but you definitely don't want to wallow in sadness because your friend left you, because then that just holds you back from meeting another friend. Now I'm going to ask you guys to do something for me. What were you focusing on? All right. So you know you were sad. What were you focusing on is the question. So see if you remember. Think back. What were you focusing on? What actually, the moment you felt sad, what did you focus on? All right. This person said they rejected me. The criticism is what I focused on that made me sad. What else, guys? What else? Well, just try to think back. When you were sad, what were you focusing on? The coach didn't like me. Criticism. How I never get to see them again. Feeling like I'm not good enough. Why I couldn't achieve these things. So this is great for you guys to share this. So a couple of people said the criticism, the coach didn't like me not being good enough. So essentially, you did not focus on what happened. Are you guys catching that? You didn't focus on what happened, right? So this is what happened, right? So I'm like looking at what happened. We was a movie. This is what happened. Maybe, so I'm going to use this example. In fact, I'm going to just call on someone who wants to share. So I want to make it real for you guys. So I know Callahan has been with me for some time. So I'm hoping I didn't put her on the spot, even though I did. Callahan, do you want to share? Thumbs up? Okay, here we go. So Callahan's going to share. So Callahan, can you tell me exactly the last time you were sad and what were you focusing on?
I was at cheer practice and my coach told me I was doing something wrong.
All right,
I was
perfect.
kind of sad about it, I guess.
So that's a perfect example. So she's at cheer practice. Coach is like, hey, you're doing something wrong. So if we're just looking at this movie and we're seeing a coach say, hey, Callahan, you didn't do that right. It's just that act alone making her sad. What do you think? Thumbs up if that made her sad. Or thumbs down if you think that didn't make her sad. Is the coach's voice of saying, hey, you didn't do that right. Is that what's making her sad? No, that's not what's making her sad. What's making her sad about that is the meaning she gave it. So if the coach is like, hey, you're doing something wrong, she in her head immediately, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Callahan, in your head, you probably like, man, like one, that's embarrassing. Like everybody's like looking at me. You just called me out. Now I feel bad. Like now I feel like I'm stupid or I'm not good enough, right? Or it could have been the tone, right? The tone, and then immediately she was probably thinking about the tone. They don't like me. That was super rude. That was mean. It was the meaning she gave it is what caused her to feel sad. Now, tell me, Callahan, what meaning did you give it would cause the sadness?
I was like, oh my gosh, she hates me, like, blah, blah, blah. I gave it a negative meaning when she was probably just trying to help me.
See that? That's it. Thank you for sharing that. That's exactly what happens. I hope you guys are seeing it. Remember, your truth is not the truth. So she was in this experience and she felt probably embarrassed, like, oh, the coach doesn't like me. But the coach in their mind, if I was like to take the coach head and open it up, now we don't know where the mind is located. We really don't. People always point to the head, but it could be in our toe. I don't know. But in any case, if I'm looking at the coach's mind, I could read the coach's mind. I'm sure the coach is like, oh, I just like Callahan is one of my best cheerleaders. I want her to be the best. Like I want to take it to the next level. So I'm going to try to call her out on everything she's doing wrong so she can be that much better, right? That could be what's going on in the coach's head. But if Callahan only focus on just the brown, she's going to completely miss it. So thumbs up if that makes sense. All right, perfect. So thanks for that, Callahan. So the reason this is important, because remember, I'm going to take you to the motivation piece. I haven't forgot about that. The reason this is important is because all of the way you feel, your actions, the way you feel, will determine the actions you take. How you feel determines your actions. All right. So it goes with your thoughts. You're focusing on something. That focus makes you feel a certain way. And the way you feel will determine what actions you take or you don't take. So this is going to help you in your motivation, essentially, because motivation is basically the failure to do something or failure to take action. So for you guys who mentioned friendships, I want to meet someone, I want to make friends, but I am terrified to start talking to people. What are you thinking about? It starts with the thoughts. Well, you're playing this movie in your head, all right? You're playing some movie in your head of how this is going to go. And that is creating fear. So you're feeling fearful, and your fear is causing you not to take action. So I want everyone right now, stand up quickly. Fast as you can stand up. Quick, stand. Fast. Come on, stand up. Ava, stand up. Charles, Brielle, stand up. Richard, stand. Quickly. Stand. Jacob, stand. Jalen. All right, everybody standing. Everybody, Jacob, Sammy. Come on, Sammy, you're the last one, my friend. Stand. Sammy. All right, you can sit down. All right, sit down. Now, what I just did there is something that I want you guys to do in school. Because remember, your mind will only consume or remember about 10% of what's happening. If you take notes, it's 50%. If you do energetic movements, it goes up to 90%. So if your teacher's teaching, even if your teacher is energetic or boring, your mind starts to wander. You're probably thinking about what you're going to eat after this. Like I know for sure Sammy's thinking about the game he's about to play. So that's what your mind is thinking about. Now, when you do a quick movement, it refocuses the brain. Now you can listen. So that's why I had you to stand up fast. So if you're at school, I don't know if you can stand up or do all that, but you want to do some fast movement. That's why I say raising your hand is quick. Bam, I'm raising my hand. Or maybe I'm just stretching and I come down quick. You want to do some quick motion. And listen, don't worry about somebody like looking at you like, man, they're weird, because you're going to be making A's. Remember, you're going to be laughing while you're making A's. So let's dive in a little more into your thoughts. I really want to touch on that. And this is really the purpose of what I want to share with you is about this motivation. If you want to be motivated right now, you have to change the mental picture. So we talked about focus. We talked about how the focus will cause you to feel. But the other question is, what are you focusing on? And our minds speak to us in two main ways. Who knows how our minds speak to us? Two main ways that we have thoughts. How do our thoughts appear? So the way we know our thoughts is either we listen to them, we can hear them. Come on. How many people know you have voices in your head? It's not just crazy people. We all do. That's our thoughts. Our thoughts are speaking to us. We hear it. The other way that we recognize our thoughts is through mental images. You know, you guys are dreaming. You have dreams, mental images. I'm going to teach you a mental image right now. We're going to do another exercise. Raise your hand if you want to do an exercise with me that's going to help you get this. Raise your hand. All right, cool. We have enough people that want to do it. All right. Another thing I want you to do, you have to do this again. Close your eyes. Here we go. I need the eyes closed. Brielle, you don't fall asleep. I know you're comfortable. Eyes closed. And we're going to do this. This is going to be a cool exercise, really cool exercise. Trust me. It's going to be super cool. Eyes closed. I want each one of you right now to imagine that you're on the beach. So eyes are closed. You're imagining the beach. You're on a beach. I want you to start walking on the beach. You're walking on the beach. Eyes are still closed, but you're walking on this beach. I want you to look down at your feet. Now I want you to sit down. You're still on the beach. Sit down. Now I want you to take your finger and write the letter A in the sand. All right. Now open your eyes. All right. So what just happened there? You got a chance to experience our thoughts. You had a mental picture. Now I'm going to show you what's super cool about your thoughts. Think about this. How many of you saw the sun when you were looking at the sun? How many, raise your hand if you saw the sun. How many of you saw other people? Raise your hand if you saw the people. How many of you saw the waves in the mental picture? All right. How many of you saw umbrellas on the beach? How many of you saw when you looked at your feet that you were wearing sandals? What did you write when we were writing A's? Was your A lowercase or were your A like an uppercase? How many had an uppercase A? How many had lowercase a? So did you see what just happened here? I didn't tell you that it was daytime. How many of you, it was bright whenever you were walking on the beach? How many of you see the sun, but it was bright? It wasn't dark. I didn't tell you that there are other people on the beach, but you saw the people. I didn't even tell you there are umbrellas on the beach, but you saw umbrellas. I didn't tell you that you would have your shoes on, off, sandals, and I didn't tell you how to write the letter A. Some of you wrote a lowercase a and it was super small. Some of you took your fingers and wrote a big uppercase A. That is our mind and how it works. Our mind will fill in gaps. So it's like you see something that happens and then our mind will fill in the rest. And I'm hopeful you can see where I'm going with this. So just like your mind filled in all those images that I didn't bring up, that is what we call your mental pictures. Each one of us have a mental picture about a task or a duty that we have to do. So I want you right now to take some time and think about the mental picture. So first, think about what you're not motivated to do first. So some of you said that you are fearful, like you want to make friends, but you're not motivated to make friends. And I'm sure some of your parents are like, hey, just go out and go talk to somebody. And you're thinking to yourself like, I'm not doing that. Why? Because of your mental picture. Some of you want to make varsity sports and you know that you're supposed to be running a mile every day. And your parents are like, hey, go run a mile. But you're thinking, I just don't feel like doing it. Mental picture. It's with your mental picture. So we each have a mental picture. So I'm going to teach you before we hang up this call, I'm going to teach you how to change your mental picture. So you first have to identify your mental picture. So identify it first. So share with me. So think what you're not motivated to do and then tell me what mental picture comes up for you. And I'm going to give you some examples. I hate washing dishes. Luckily, I don't have to do it. You know, we have a housekeeper and all that, but I truly dislike washing dishes. So if you ask me, what is my mental picture? My wife was like, hey, RJ, you better wash dishes or I'm going to kick you out your own house. If that was the case, my mental picture would be like me like this. Like, you know, say this is a dish and I'm like, just feeling sorry for myself, right? Because it's boring. It's wasting my time. I don't want to do it. I could be doing something so much better. That is my mental picture is this. It's a sad face holding a dish like, feel sorry for me. I got to do this, right? That mental picture is played every single time I would have to go wash dishes. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. Focus the thoughts makes you feel a certain way. What does this mental picture makes me feel like? It makes me feel sad. It makes me feel frustrated. I don't want to do it, right? This is what it makes me feel. If I feel this way, what would be my actions? Will it be very easy for me to go and do it? No, it will be a huge struggle for me to do it. Now, I want you guys to play it the other way around. I want you to share with me your mental picture whenever you're having the time of your life with your friends. Like when I'm talking about you're just the time of your life. Show me your mental picture right now. You're the happiest. You're with your friends. Sammy, you're playing video games. Let me see it. Okay, let me see. Come on now. That's not the correct mental picture. Let's be for real. I know you have so much fun with your friends. So if that's your mental picture, now you understand why it's easy for you to go hang out with your friends. Do your parents ever have to force you to hang out with your like group to have friends, or even video game people? Did your parents have to say, hey, you're in trouble? Don, you're in trouble. You didn't play video games today. Has anyone ever heard that? No. Because you guys are like, what is your mental picture for video games? You're like, whatever it is, right? But that is where we get motivation. It's a natural thing. So all you have to do, if you want to be able to be motivated to run a mile, motivated to exercise and lose weight, motivated to go make friends, motivated to study or show up to class and get excited, all you have to do is just change your mental picture. You change the picture that's associated with the task. If that makes sense, thumbs up. All right, we have a few minutes and I'm going to show you how to do it. So you have your old mental picture. Your old mental picture. You know what that looks like. Now I want you to create a new mental picture. So you have your old mental picture is here, is you. Maybe it's like you're going to go and meet somebody, right? You're going to go and talk to somebody for the first time to make friends. Maybe this is your mental picture. So this is something subconscious. So I hope you don't think that this, like you're actually seeing this, is like subconscious. So what I'm going to tell you to do to change that is to show me a mental picture of what it will look like if you were to be confident hanging out with friends. Maybe you're showing up like Michael. Maybe you got that shirt and tie and you're just ready, man. You're like ready to conquer the world. And you see yourself just like talking, maybe it's like this, a proud look, like you're looking cool. Or maybe you're like walking up to somebody. You have to change the mental picture, but you have to first see that picture. Raise your hand if you have that new mental picture. Raise your hand because I'm going to teach you how to switch them. So we have the new mental picture. So this is what you do. Now, before I explain this, you have to break this barrier. The mind is super powerful, okay? Some of you are probably thinking like, well, my mind is my mind, whatever, I don't care. The mind is extremely, extremely powerful. The reason you do what you do on a regular basis is because of the mind. Whatever you do, the way you feel is because of the mind. So this strategy is really going to help you out. Now you got to do it though, right? I could just talk all day about it, but you actually have to do it. How do I get motivated about doing what RJ is about to tell me? That's a question. So take the mental picture, and what you want to do is you want to switch them. It's a really cool technique and it works. Now you may feel weird doing this. If you feel weird, I'm not going to make you do it now. I'll do it because I'm not too worried about what people think. But this is something you want to do by yourself if you get a little nervous. But you want to switch the mental pictures, okay? You switch the mental pictures. So first you start off with the old picture, and I'm going to use me as an example. So my old picture was me holding the dishes like this. My new mental picture is me have a dish in my hand, just smile like this. That's my new mental picture. So I need to switch those pictures because every time I think of dishes, it naturally pops up. So first I want you to do two things for me. Take your old mental picture and turn it red. Now you can still see it, but it's red. So it's a red background because our mind has been trained. Red means no, stop, blood. It's not good. So make the background red. Take your new mental picture and make the background green. You got that? Red and green. So this is the exercise I want you to do when you get in your room by yourself. You don't want to do it in front of anybody. Close your eyes. Everything we do, you have to close your eyes. Now, the reason we have to close your eyes is because in order to really tap into the mind, you really need to try to remove all distractions. You try. It's hard, but you have to try. So try to be somewhere where it's quiet. Close your eyes. Just kind of sit quietly, all right? So you got to close your eyes. And when your eyes are closed, I want you to see the old mental picture with the background red. So I see mine. This is mine right here. And I see the red background. Now, this is what I'm seeing in front of me. Now, in the corner, okay, the corner. So this is my screen. You see the corner? I want you, when your eyes are closed in this area, I want you to have the new mental picture small right there. A small mental picture, and it's green. And what I want you to do is take your hand, and I want you to take that old mental picture and smash through the new mental picture and smash the old mental picture. So you're going to literally grab it from the bottom. If you have your eyes closed, go ahead and open it real quick so you can see what I'm doing. So you're going to grab it from the bottom, and you're going to go up fast like this. Whoosh, like smash through the picture. You can actually say the word whoosh too if you want to. It's like this, whoosh. You want to smash through the picture. So this is what you're literally saying. So you have the old mental picture is here in the middle. I'm going to back up so you can see the new mental picture is here. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to just whoosh and replace it. You do that one time, and then you open your eyes. And then you close your eyes, you do it again. Whoosh, break it. Open your eyes, do it again. If you literally do this several times, you're going to notice when you think of dish, in my case, dishes, but in your case, homework, or your case, talking to a friend, you're going to see that you don't feel that. You don't feel it bad anymore. It doesn't feel so scary because you have the new mental picture. And this is a way that we are basically conditioning your mind. We're changing these mental pictures. Now you may ask yourself, RJ, I don't know if I should go around messing with my mind. Well, then I would ask you this. How did that mental picture get there in the first place? How did it get there in the first place? You were not born with that picture in your mind. You were not born with it. Somehow you developed it yourself. You did this whole whoosh pattern without me even teaching it to you. And you didn't even know it. So I'm certain at the age of 3 or 4, I think psychologists have discovered that most of the issues we deal with, or most of the way our mind works, is back from age 3. So 3 and 4, right? So basically for you who are shy, maybe at age 3, you kept hearing that. Think about it. Because I hope you know there's a difference between being an introvert and being shy. They're not the same thing. Introversion has a lot to do with energy. It has nothing to do with shy. You could be a super confident introvert. If you're introverted, that means you are not energized about being around a lot of people. In fact, when you're around a lot of people, you actually feel drained. That's what an introvert is. Extrovert is the opposite. So I'm an extrovert. So when I'm around a lot of people, I get energized. I'm like, you think I'm energized now? You got to see me when I'm with a group of people. Put it this way. If we're in a live event, you would see a whole nother side. But, we're in a computer, so it's whatever. So that is what introvert versus extrovert. Now, you being afraid, or you being fearful to talk to someone, or you being worried that someone is going to judge you, or you're worried about what people think about you, that has nothing to do with whether you're introvert or extrovert. Extroverts feel that way sometimes. Introverts feel that way sometimes. That is about being shy. So shy is all about being fearful. So what I'm telling you is that at age 3, you didn't know much things, right? You're just a little toddler exploring the world. But maybe you were an introvert. And then you were not as excited as your brother. Your brother's like seeing people and like, hey, look at me, the life of the party. And everybody was like, oh, Shaquille or Jason or Michael. Oh, they're shy. They're shy. You're hearing this at age 3 years old. And guess what was happening? In your mind, you start hearing shy. Oh, they're scared. The little thing the toddlers do, they try to hide behind their parents. When they see somebody, oh, they're shy. And you literally put that in your head that you were shy. You put that in your head because you heard someone tell you that over and over. You're shy. So over the years, when you put yourself out there, you probably had an experience where you're like, oh, like a deer in the headlights when someone's asking you a question, you're like, oh, and that became your mental picture. So what I'm teaching you guys how to do is to get rid of that mental picture. It wasn't born with that. So you replace your mental picture with what you want, and that's going to help your motivation. Thumbs up if that made sense. Now, be honest with me. I know it's weird. I know it. That's why I'm telling you to do it by yourself. Be honest with me. Raise your hand if you're going to actually do this. I'm just curious. I want to just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Man, this is awesome. So that means next week when I see you, I'm going to ask about this and I want to see how much it changed. Now, before we let you go, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to do this. I really believe most of you, even more than raise your hand, I think you're going to try this. I think you think, even though it's weird, I think you deep down think it's kind of cool. Because I think anytime we like changing the way our mind is conditioned, I think that's cool. And I'm going to tell you ahead of time, I have literally like probably over 60 different mental techniques that you can do to change anything, even about some trauma in the past. I mean, and it's not like I created all of these things. This is stuff that's just been proven, but it's some cool things. So I know most of you guys are going to try, but I want to prepare you. You're going to try this. And then you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to go try to talk to this person. And then naturally you're going to be like, wait a minute, like it's not so intimidating. And then you're going to go and talk to the person. Maybe you walk up to the person and you say something and then they look at you in a weird way. And then you just shut down and then you freak out. So that will happen. This is not a one time, all of a sudden it's magical. It's going to happen. My encouragement is for you to do it at least 15 times right away. So today, when we hang up and you go in there, do it 15 times. Do that whoosh technique 15 times. Remember, you open your eyes and you start over. Open your eyes, start over 15 times. Whenever you go and try to do something and it doesn't work, do it immediately. It's so important you do it immediately. So even if you freeze and you feel bad, like walk off to a corner, go to the restroom and hurry up and do it. Because what you don't want to do is reinforce the old picture because you're trying to create this new picture. So I want you guys to do that. And if you do that, send me a message. Tell me, like email me. You can text. You can tell your accountability coach and they can tell me, okay, you got to email me, send me a message. Hey man, I did it. And this is what happened. So you're going to let me know? Treasure, you going to let me know? I want to know. All right, cool. I will see you guys next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. I hope you enjoy listening to the group coaching session. And I also hope that you were able to learn something that would help strengthen the relationship between you and your teenager. Until next time, this is a teen's perspective, helping parents see the future.